At this moment, Ray's gaze was caught by a creative McDonald's photo. It's a concept store located in Phoenix, like a lighthouse guiding passing cars, symbolizing McDonald's glory and prestige. The brand's charm shone brightly. On that starry night, Ray arrived by car at this mysterious spot, with the restaurant like a fairy tale castle. He knew this place would be the starting point for his dreams, where the future McDonald's would shine bright. Ray could hardly wait to drive home to share his new findings with his wife. Even though they had a cozy home, Ray was hardly around throughout the year. His wife shared her frustrations, voicing her concerns about Ray's pursuit of dreams. She was filled with hope for the future, and Ray painted a grand vision of McDonald's to her. He expressed his unwavering determination to join McDonald's at all costs, but his wife remained worried. Despite their cozy home, she seldom saw him throughout the year and urged Ray once again. She couldn't help but ask, "How long will you be busy? At this age, you should be enjoying family." After a heated argument, his wife stormed out, leaving Ray to face the empty room alone. He realized his impatient nature often let his wife down, leaving her feeling disappointed. For the sake of his family, Ray had to keep pushing through the grueling sales job. He faced the indifference and rejection of clients daily, enduring internal pain and struggle. With anger nowhere to go, he could only bang on the car to vent his disappointment and frustration. However, Raymond had no intention of spending the rest of his life in such a manner. After much careful consideration, he arrived at the doorstep of McDonald's. He passionately shared his ideals with the brothers, painting a picture of the future McDonald's. The McDonald brothers were moved by his enthusiastic speech today and decided to give Ray the operational rights. But they also drafted a stricter contract to prevent history from repeating itself. The contract states Ray cannot change any branch food items and must strictly follow the existing model. Additionally, he would only receive 1.4% of the branch profits, which is relatively low. However, Ray did not back down and signed the contract without hesitation. With fervor and a carefully prepared pitch, he set off for the bank. He hoped to persuade the bank manager to provide funding for his startup plan, but fate seemed to have other intentions. The bank manager recognized Ray instantly, recalling his past failed ventures. Ray's credit was nearly non-existent, and no bank was willing to lend him money. He used his newly bought house as collateral for startup funds. However, when he eagerly started construction, he encountered new obstacles. In the Midwest region, every restaurant came with a basement and a stove, and Ray had to cope with the requests for changes. However, the McDonald brothers turned down Ray's proposal, worrying that altering the restaurant's layout would affect its overall style and operational efficiency. They insisted that Ray wait for the architect's review, which meant delay profits. For Raymond, this represented an utterly unbearable blow, as his financial situation was already extremely precarious. Enraged and desperate, he made a rash decision to start at once. He contacted Coca-Cola for sponsorship, but was rejected by the McDonald brothers once again. This ignited Ray's anger. Since signing the contract, every attempt felt like hitting an invisible wall. He picked up the phone again, hoping to have one last debate with Dick to find the key to the solution. However, the indifference on the other end dashed his hopes again, despite the overwhelming difficulties. Ray's persistence finally overcame all obstacles, and his first restaurant grand opening was a success. He meticulously managed every detail like the McDonald brothers, ensuring everything was perfect. In the bustling kitchen, one employee caught his eye, engrossed in grilling burgers. Little did he realize at that time that he would, in the future, become the chairman of McDonald's, guiding this legendary company to reach new heights. Ray returned home exhausted, as if an invisible barrier stood between him and his wife, leaving them speed-toiled day and night for his career. and their connection seemed to fade, yet his wife silently supported him. That evening, his wife took Ray to a grand banquet, introducing him to her wealthy friends, businessmen who only valued appearances and vanity. They scoffed at Ray's business, leaving him feeling embarrassed and helpless. Yet his wife always stood by him, elegantly and firmly defending him. Ray's McDonald's swept through the industry like a whirlwind. With his wife's connections, he signed contract after contract, expanding branches continuously. This booming scene raised deep concerns for Dick, who knew that such rapid expansion would challenge quality control. Although Ray sensed this, he still decided to visit the branches himself to see if there were indeed issues. When he entered the branches, he was shocked by what he saw on offer as menu additions and terrible conditions. The non-standard burgers and all the mess proved Dick's concerns valid, leaving him deeply upset. He decisively cancelled dinner with his wife's friends and even terminated any collaboration with them. He mocked these wealthy people's superficiality, making his wife feel embarrassed. He didn't understand the gravity of his words. Please subscribe down below to show support for our story.